reunion concert that you're going to see, Jeff? Why are you skipping Broker Carrier?
Does the next week work for you, though?
Let's see. Let's bring it down. So on Sunday, I'm going to become a Sir Knight as I'm getting my 4th degree in Knights of Columbus. So I'm stepping it up there. I'm working on multiple projects over the week. So it's priority setting. So, it's not that I don't want to go, but I've got to put my focus on,
It sounds like
we know why you're going down there. The new Universal Studios open. You want to go to Super Mario World, so you have the amazing mustache. You want to slime the shredder or whatever the kids do these days. We know why you're going down.
It's okay. Everybody hears it here first. We're pushing Broker Carrier Summit back a week just to make sure Jeff can go. Here's the official communication.
I know.
I'm sad. Anymore. Get out of here.
The non-official official communication.
I'm sad.
Speaking of which, look at this. So Dan, listen, we got a problem. We need your help immediately. All right. So it's come to our attention that Jeff Dickinson can't make it to the Broker Carrier Summit this year. Some of us knew that, but Coleman just found out, and as a result, he's no longer coming to the Broker Carrier Summit. We think the registration numbers are going to plummet at this point. So the question is, can we push it back a week? Can we just, is it too late? Can we just push it back a week? That wouldn't be a problem, right?
Yeah. Let's upend everything for Coleman. I'm all for that.
No. For Jeff. It's not for
Coleman. Oh, man. I thought we were friends. That's BS, Dan. That is absolutely BS.
Trey knew that you weren't going to be coming for months now.
Friends, man.
We are. I'm defending.
Well, I knew that.
Actually. So Trey knew that.
I didn't know Coleman and everybody were bouncing because of it. I mean, that's the problem is that when other people found out about Jeff, that's when it happened. Yeah,
it's only after Coleman bounced that Trey said, "Hey, can we push it back a week?" That's
listen. I think Coleman brought it to my attention. I think we've lost like 20% attendees when they found out that Jeff isn't coming. So, Coleman's just the tip of the iceberg here, is what I'm saying. I mean, he's just a representative for this community.
So
he's the president of the Jeff Dickinson fan club. He's representative of this community.
Yeah, I've been working on this for 33 years.
I'm one of Dan's biggest supporters.
I know that. And likewise. And that goes both ways.
See?
Yeah.
Chaos.
I'll be there.
All right, let's start the show. Get the show going. Let's start. What's up, everybody? It's Noon Central. It's time for Word on the Street, and it is the pre-BCS show. This is the last show before the Broker Carrier Summit. I got to tell you guys, I'm all podcasted out. It's been quite the week. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Let's go around the horn. Coming to us from Boston, the man who makes us look good up on stage at the Broker Carrier Summit from 5 Tool Productions, Kyle McNaught.
What up? Making everyone except for his issue over here look good because they decided they're too good for us boys. Am I right, Dan and Trey?
That's absolutely right there, McNaughty.
Yeah.
Yes, there's something to that. I know. There's something
here.
to that. Listen, we're not pushing.
Backstage. If I see him, I've already hired a gang of beef cakes to make sure if they see Coleman, they wedgie him so I can come over and give him a noogie. Then they throw him out old cartoon style.
I like that you're pointing to Trey when you're saying this.
So I'm confused. Coleman, are you showing up or are you not showing up? I'm thoroughly lost. So.
I was 120% in, and then when I found out Jeff wasn't going, I was 100% in. So I'll be there.
Okay.
He won't be nearly as enthusiastic about it, is what he's saying. He won't have nearly as good of an attitude this time around as last time.
I'm going to say this, Coleman. I'm so happy I don't have to deal with your ass anymore.
Oh, don't worry.
Let me tell you right now, that is such a lie. That is such a lie. He does not mean that at all.
Not at all. No.
Every day he's like, why can't you be more like Coleman? Like, that's what he said. Like that's how it typically goes down. Yeah, Speaking of which, coming to us from Denver, Colorado, talent solvers in the house. Coleman Ruffin, what's up, my friend? Good to see you.
What kind of work do you do?
Don't worry. What I'm going to do, I've decided. This might be too much for a cat, but I'm going to go find a white cat. I'm going to shave it, and I'm going to glue it all here just so we get the best mixture of Jeff and I. It'll be perfect.
You bring a cowboy hat with that, too, and some boots. That's what you got to have. You know, have the full thing.
Hey, Jeff, I got a shirt that I'm going to wear in honor of you, too, buddy. It's a green paisley shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
That's what we should do. One of the themes of the parties one night should be a Jeff Dickinson theme. The bodacious cowboy.
We'll get everybody handlebars to wear. You know, little sticker handlebars to wear. Everybody will have them.
Gold.
There's nothing like the real thing. Sorry.
Oh, that's true. Speaking of the bodacious cowboy from New Jersey, Jeff Dickinson, everybody. I'm kind of liking this new song we got. I'm liking the new theme we got. Yeah, good choice, my friend.
I'm very sorry that I will not be going to the BCS, but I promise I will be in Philly and I'm going to Orlando. That's
beautiful.
That is
beautiful. Right? Hey, speaking of which, see if you can find us a spot in Philly. Where's a good spot in Philly? We don't know Philly that well. We need help.
I'm asking several people. Oh man, you only got 2-3 weeks left.
Yeah, it's coming quick. It's on the heels of this thing. Get NFI involved. Get Toga involved. It is kind of how we do it.
Last minute roll.
How about this? Here's an idea. How about Top Golf? It's near Philly.
Ooh.
They've got a big, huge apparatus there. I mean, big. That could definitely house 100, 150.
We need to see if we can get NFI in on this and maybe some of the other companies right there in the area.
It would be perfect, guys. It really would. Yeah. It's right around the corner.
Send me the details on that.
I will.
Literally right around the corner. All right. The man who is the vision behind this crazy thing, the Broker Carrier Summit, coming to us from Indianapolis, and he's already pulled all of his hair out. Dan Lindsay, everybody.
It's gone. It's been gone for 2 decades, and it ain't coming back.
Hey, you have hair?
Yeah, in a previous life.
Oh.
I feel like seeing Dan with hair would be like – seeing Dan with hair has got to be like the old pictures of Michael Jordan with hair. It just looks so weird seeing Michael Jordan with hair.
Yeah, helicopter pad.
Like, think about a much skinnier version of an American Harry Potter. That's what it was.
With glasses.
Was it
with the glasses? Yeah. All of a sudden,
was the hair straight? Was it curly? Did you have an afro? Did you have natural curls? What was it?
Dude had an afro.
It was paper thin.
Paper thin. Yeah.
With a comb over at 15 years old. Yes, the whole thing.
Looking like you had just the mop. You had the mop look, just falling down. Yeah,
pretty much.
He had the
You didn't have that beautiful head of hair that like Juan Baena has, where it just looks so thick and full. It's just beautiful over there. Speaking of which,
I don't think Juan
coming to us from Savant.
Hair ever at any time at all.
No, he wakes up like that, dude. Totally wakes up like that. Savant, Juan Baena, everybody.
Yes, sir. That's how it wakes up. That's how it stays.
Hey,
I don't comb it backwards. No, just be clear. I don't comb it backwards. It's just like that. If I try to do a front thing, it comes up like a little ramp for like a skateboarder, and it looks really awful. So
I think we need a pre-shaving head Dan Lindsay picture. I think we need that. I think everybody wants to see that. Yeah. We need that. Dan, you need to go back into the archives. I know 20 years ago they didn't have cameras and things. At least not ones you could use very well, and you couldn't be guaranteed that they would turn out. But
what are you talking about? We have photos of Jeff 20 years ago. Jeff's photos are phenomenal. No, his style is perfect.
That's because Jeff was a big deal back then. He was on the stages of Vegas performing shows.
Not now, Trey. What the hell?
Jeff can't miss.
Look at this guy just rolling in. Look at this guy rolling in. What's up, Mitch Kovaleski? What's up, my friend? How are you?
Good for the gut. Good for the gut, guys. Good for the gut.
Dude, what is that? Is that some orange soda? What is that? Show that again.
It's called Evolution. Helps you fart less, I think. I think it's good for farts and gut health and some other things. So it's good.
Right. Why not? Why not? That's your lunch today. Welcome. That's awesome.
That's right.
Very good. Ooh, James Gordon. Dude, James Gordon, what's up?
Your mic. Please mute your mic.
Ooh. You want Mitch to mute his mic?
Yeah, if he's going to start farting, I don't want to hear that.
Okay.
I thought it was my mic again.
I thought he was going SBDs on us, so I didn't think we have to worry about it too much. So, hey shout out to James Gordon. James, what's up, man? Good to see you in the comments. James Gordon is responsible for the DOT level 1 inspections we're going to do at the Broker Care Summit next week. Thanks, James. Appreciate you, buddy. Good stuff. Mitch, what were we going to say? I cut you off.
No, I don't know. I was just so taken back by that comment from Jeff. I would always save him for Jeff. So I don't know. What's up?
You guys are close.
Beautiful faces in here. Look at Kyle. It looks like he's lost about 5 years. I don't know. I've never seen Coleman with the sweatshirt before. This is good. Look at Dan Lindsay's got that whole summit thing I keep hearing about behind him. This is amazing.
Dude, Coleman's wearing his own brand. Look at this. Coleman's got his own brand on. Look at this.
Your own brand?
That's what I'm talking about. He wants his own brand, dude. Roughing it. Look at that.
We are in
like
final
a condom?
stage production of all of the other
condoms.
I'm going to have actual physical products by not next Friday, but the following.
Tagline is "Some like it rough."
Yeah.
Wait, let's explore this brand Roughing It.
Yeah.
Let's really peel back the onion on the Roughing It brand.
Kyle thinks we should go.
It's been fun, guys. It's been fun. Bye.
Full condom line for Roughing It. Full condom.
No. You guys are all wrong. Roughing It, the official prison brand of. No, my friends. This is the official brand of blah 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 corrections.
Get into Fulton County Prison, see what we can do.
Absolutely. I like it. I love it.
It was a one-off. We're not launching
it. No longer 15. He's 12 now.
Yeah. I'm not doing it anymore.
The name is OnlyFans, guys. It's rough.
We just killed Coleman's dream.
/roughing it.
That's right. Dan Lindsay, what's going on in Indianapolis, man? You all ready to go?
Oh, yeah. I'm drowning in spreadsheets and phone calls and all kinds of crazy stuff. All the things happen in the last week of like planning and stuff. Everybody's quiet. Most people are quiet for the first 4.5 months of planning, and then the 3 weeks before, people realize, oh, we're doing this show, and all the details come in. So Trey and I haven't slept, and
Tell
Courtney
me about
hasn't
it.
slept.
I booked flights yesterday.
We got Juan hitting me up at LinkedIn
Yesterday.
11:45 last night. Hey, how do I buy tickets?
Yeah.
Like he's not been there before.
Yeah.
What's going
Was
on?
it that
He called
late?
me. He's like,
No shit. Was it that late?
Dog.
Yeah,
it
was.
He called me and he's
Juan
like, hey,
was busy researching Dairy Queens online, and then he realized, I got to get to America again.
I should have booked. I'll tell you something. I should have booked a month ago when the prices were $1,400 and not $2,300 to get over there.
Yes, you should.
Yes.
Everybody.
You should. That would be great. That would lower our stress level a lot.
Dude, 3 flights, 13 hours, 2 connections. That's what expects me from here. So.
Just start walking. Fuck.
I just walk it. Yeah, right.
I do not suggest that right now.
I heard Mexico
crazy.
Control.
Crazy about that border.
Yep, it's coming down to the final time. We're working on everything. It's coming together. We're tracking well ahead of Fort Worth. In fact, I think we're going to eclipse Fort Worth's numbers probably today or tomorrow. And then everything else beyond that is gravy, which is cool. So it's going to be a great turnout.
We're about 10 people away.
Yeah. We need to listen. We need truckers to show up for this thing. We need more truckers. I want to.
You're fucking us right now, Jeff.
I do still have the same shirt on. Look at this. I still have the same shirt on. But listen, we need truckers to sign up for this, and it's not because we're shortest of truckers, but because it's the most value for truckers. And listen, the more truckers we get, the more the brokers can benefit from that. This is the best 3 days you're going to spend, without your truck, without the wheels moving. You're going to get loads tendered to you during lunch. It happens all the time. So make sure you sign up. BrokerCarrierSummit.com. Use coupon code BETA BETA to get 10% off. I always love to throw my code out there and see what we get out of that. Oh, look at this guy showing up. Look at this coming in hot.
Look at his
What's up, What's Nobby?
Let's go.
Scott, you're like an OG man, hardcore dude, totally. King of the
Oh, am I lagging?
Where are you?
Lagging already?
You're lagging a little bit, but where is the crew? Where's the Armstrong team behind?
Lagging already?
Good.
Yeah, we had some HVAC issues, and so we're.
You guys still don't have internal. You don't have internal plumbing in Idaho still. Like they haven't brought that there yet. And you lost internet.
He's got that bussy internet. That's right, Coleman.
Yeah,
he totally got it.
Yeah. This year we get
BWS grade internet over there at the house. That's what he's got.
Local internet.
I had to get Rise,
Bussy wireless service. That's what he's got. He's got the Bussy
broadband
wireless
or
service.
something. I don't know.
That's what he's got. Oh man, listen. Enjoy the show, Scott. Hope you get to jump in from time to time. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens on that. All right, let's turn our attention to the summit next week. I know he's still.
Look at him.
All right, let's turn our attention to the summit next week. So it's gonna be great. Indianapolis, Crown Plaza, Union Station. Going to be a great time. Going to have well over 500, probably close to 600, 650 people in attendance. We got the governor of Indiana coming to this thing. Dan, how'd you pull that off, dude?
Well, Mike and I are close friends. No, we're not. But I met him a couple times. One at his he owns a distribution company and a trucking company in Jasper, Indiana. And I was part of a group of about a dozen freight professionals from the state of Indiana who went to his company and was talking about the state of the industry. That's a couple of years ago. Met him again when I was in D.C. for the TIA fly-in a couple of years ago. And just sent a couple of emails back and forth over the last couple of years. And so we reached out to him when he became governor. Inauguration week, which is the best time, by the way, to reach out to people and say, hey, do you want to come speak at my shit? Is during inauguration week when they're very busy. And they just got back with us 2 or 3 weeks ago and said, hey, Mike remembers you. He'd love to come to your show. And so we're going to sit for about 20 minutes and talk about the state of the industry, how people can navigate things like tariffs and learn some lessons, hopefully, from Governor Braun on not only in business but also in politics, how he approaches partnership. One of the things he's known for is crossing the political aisle to get things done. So it's going to be a great talk.
Yeah, not too many of those these days that are willing to do that. There's a few, but not a lot that are willing to cross the aisle and do that, which is great. Yeah, it's going to be a great talk. We got Ken Riddle coming back from the FMCSA. We got Nick Clean-Smith, who's a 4-time cancer survivor, doing a keynote speaking session. And we got some great panels this time, some great moderators, a lot of contributors that are helping out. We got DOT inspections, like we said. We got late night karaoke. We got the Post and Pray Classic. We got Learning Labs on Tuesday, quite a few of them. I'm pretty excited. Kara Smith-Brown and I are going to be doing on reimagining sales and marketing. She's giving away copies of her book, The Revenue Engine, along with the new workbook companion guide that goes along with it that just released today. So she's launching that today, and it's going to be available for all attendees at our Learning Lab on Tuesday. We got the first Women Logistics Happy Hour. We got a lot. We got the first Loaded and Rolling Party at the end. We got a lot of great things happening.
What's the weather forecast? That's the most important thing. Everybody's trying to pack, get their suitcases out, go to the dry cleaner.
You know what?
Great
it's
question.
Indiana. You pack for 3 seasons, you'll experience 2.5 of them in the first day you're there.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll tell you
that's
what, that would have been great before Southwest screwed up all their baggage deals. So a weather forecast would help out all those loyal Southwest customers.
Yeah, so it's going to be sunny on Monday for the golf tournament, which I'm excited about right now. No rain in the forecast, 80 degrees, so it's going to be perfect. Coleman?
What's 80 degrees in Celsius?
Out, dude.
Is that jacket
Missing
weather?
out.
Is that sweater weather? Is that polo shirts?
80 degrees.
Dude, that's polos and
I've never
shorts.
been to
Crop top.
Indianapolis, so
Crop top.
what type
Wear
of
crop top,
frozen
you're gonna be
nipples should I
fine.
expect?
It's 10 degrees
What
over
kind of-
room temperature. It's about 24 degrees.
What kind of country doesn't work off of Fahrenheit? Jeez. Idiots.
Everybody else,
Exactly.
not
Third
idiots.
world.
No, I know.
I do have a broker carrier
We're the
summit
dumb
question. Tell me a little bit about the behind the scenes production. Can you guys speak on that a little bit? Do you guys have anybody that's like,
We're winging it.
really
We have no
directing
idea.
that? How does that
We'll figure
work?
it out.
If you could
Professional, qualified, those kind of things, Mitch.
like that. I like that.
No, they don't even have insurance. We do it live, like Coleman likes to say in the chat. We'll figure it out somehow. I don't know. We got a couple of videos. We got a big old screen. We got Trey's Mohawk's going to be 20 feet wide. 13
Also, we
feet
do
tall.
have insurance, just so we know. Just so everybody
Yes.
knows we do have insurance. Thanks,
I think there's
thanks
a little-
for that, Kyle.
I think there's a
I'm
little-
going to get a call from the attorneys. Like, why don't you have insurance? Like, we do.
I think there's a little rain coming in for the week, just a little bit on Tuesday and Wednesday. But other than that, it's going to be highs in the either 80s or 70s. I think lows are in the 50s. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a nice week. Looking forward to it for sure. Going to have a good time. And it's not too late to sign up, brokercarriersummit.com. So make sure you go and sign up and get there. It's going to be good. We're heading over on Sunday, getting ready for the golf tournament. We got 72 players currently registered and a few more probably signing up here this weekend. So it's going to be another full field event. Having a good time. Sponsored by our friends at H&F Logistics right there in Indiana and Payhawk. So we got some great sponsors joining us this time around, which should be good. All right, let's turn our attention to what's happening in the economy and what's going on in the world. These tariffs are wreaking some havoc. I'm tell you what, I spoke with a shipper today. I'm sure Mitch, you spoke with some as well. I spoke with a shipper today who said they literally cannot make plans because one day it's one thing, the next day it's another thing. They're trying to do calculations on what it's going to cost them. Is it worth to place the order? Do they cancel the order? Do they stop shipping altogether? Looking to lay people off here in a couple months because they're projecting 6 to 12 months. They're not sure what's going to happen. So that's just an anecdotal piece of evidence I heard on what's happening. What are you guys hearing about what's happening here with the tariff situation and the supply chain?
4 weeks. It's done. Can't last more than that.
You think 4 weeks the tariffs are done? Like they've negotiated a new deal and it's all
$20 on 4 weeks on the dot.
Wow. Okay.
I
like the optimism.
It will take.
I love that's a strong. I would like to know what's behind that. That's a very strong.
So would one.
That's a pretty strong stance. Yeah.
There was no ambiguity in that at all.
So
4 weeks.
if you guys pay attention to Twitter,
oh God,
like everybody's starting to get scared. You can see Craig Fuller starting to advise, we're going to run out of inventories by May 1st. So that's going to give Trump 3 weeks to negotiate what's his exit plan. What's his, he got himself into this. What's he going to do to get out of it and save some face in the process, if not win, right? Because the guy seems like he has the stars aligned and everything works out for him. So I give it 4 weeks for it to be sorted out. We're already reaching maximum pain. Like China is in pain. Don't think about it. That's like, they have all the win, all the cards. They got some pain. They got a bunch of supply that doesn't have any demand. So it's gonna come out. They're gonna come to the table sooner or later.
No matter which way you look at it, it's gonna take 3 months to recover. Whenever that's settled, at least 3 to 4 months.
That whiplash,
4 months out.
That whiplash is gonna hurt.
Yeah. So 4 weeks. So Juan says 4 weeks. Anybody contradict that? Anybody else think this is, not moving?
Where's Meshach?
I'm hammering the over. Hammering the over. I have no idea why, but I'm hammering it.
Have you been on Twitter lately, though? Lots of OnlyFans models promoting what they're doing. So, that's also going to weigh into the 4 week factor.
A lot of who? I'm sorry.
What?
Nothing. I have no idea about tariffs or any of this stuff.
Look, we're talking about tariffs, and the evidence that tariffs are going to only last 4 more weeks is Craig Fuller on Twitter. I don't know. I don't know that that's a good gauge. I just don't.
Everybody's just guessing at this point. An educated guess.
And that's something we should have
uneducated.
learned from the last 3 years in freight is that nobody knows. So stop saying things if you don't know. I don't know. That's why I don't give predictions anymore because they're always going to be wrong.
Mitch, you're talking to a lot of shippers out there. What are you hearing?
It's real. So here's when we know it's real, that some of the biggest corporations in the world are now adjusting their earnings forecasting, right? So you got Colgate-Palmolive, you got Procter & Gamble. They're coming out to say tariffs will definitely affect us moving forward by a massive financial impact. So it's no longer they're just waiting around for a big fix. We know on May 2nd that there is expectation, to Juan's point, that we're going to reverse the Chinese $800 implementation, but man, they're still at 145%, I believe. Don't quote me on that today, right? They started at 125, it's up to 145. So when we say tariffs, this is now really focusing on Asia, specifically to China, right? That's really what we're all worried about. There is also from an import of fresh product coming in from other countries into North America, specifically on the fresh produce and the flower sector. Our business has increased significantly on Central America growers that want to move their product up into Canada in bond and just be creative about the processes and how to do that and avoid the U.S. Duties and taxes altogether in any way possible. But we're definitely seeing an increase of that by bringing product in from Central and Mexico, Central America, Central America and Mexico coming up into other portions. And so I do think that then there's other implications of that of crossing into Canada. Is there rebates on specific products? So that's being decided. I think there's still a lot of confusion on that and what qualifies is the exception on that. But every country has a different focus point. Some of it's fluff, some of it's talk, but it's starting to affect everybody. I mean, it's not a joke. So they do expect Long Beach to be an absolute ghost town in May. When is it? Is it the 1st of May? Is it the last part of May? The only thing holding us strong has been our American dollar, right? And so the American dollar is going to get us through May overall, just based on the value of that currency. But past that, it's a big deal that's really scaring us up. But our value of currency is the only hope to continue to ride to keep Long Beach in operation. But when it doesn't go, this goes back into what we talked about before. This isn't just the consumer being, having a bigger price. This is the longshore drayman that's got to feed their family. This is the trucking guys, the warehouse guys, the forklift guys that are all tied into that tariff that build an entire community of hundreds of thousands of employees. So that's just one market. It's obviously across the board. So yes, to whoever said that, Dan Lindsay, yeah, we're all waiting to kind of see, but we do know specifically from an impact what's happening. Does it ramp up nearshoring? Does it do other spikes? No one wants to invest money. No one wants to put money in. The scare on where they're going to invest the money to react to that, I think, is the biggest uncertainty for people of where to even rebound to do an alternative to protect us in the future. We saw COVID, right? We said, man, we can't pull our eggs in one basket there. There's not been a better alternative. Where's the better alternative, right? We all said Mexico. Everybody wants to go to Mexico. How many have stepped up? How many have put tool and die facilities in Mexico and started going, right? And so it's a lot of money to do all these things.
And it's a lot of time too. Mexico's a government that, like, if you want to start a company there,
it's really hard to start business.
They're really slow when you're not Mexican. So it's like, it makes it really hard.
Boom, you're absolutely right. It's very hard.
Well, I think one of the things this underscores is the importance of, and we saw this in real time. I think it was 2 weeks ago when the tariff conversation was in full swing. Spot rates dropped like 28% in like 24 hours and have kind of been bumping along the bottom ever since. This really underscores the importance of creating a network around you of deep, mutually beneficial relationships in business. So these relationships will get you through the tough times. And
Did we lose Dan? Was that just me? Oh, we lost Dan.
He was about to tell everyone what's up.
He was about to drop some nuggets. We lost Dan.
Dan, go back. Dan, fix your audio. You had a good point there. What were you saying, man?
Here we go.
There you are. Yeah,
you're good.
Are we back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yep.
Where did I drop off at?
How cool
you were saying
how nice my bald head is.
Your AV guys.
For some reason, Scott Watanabe's music is still in my ear. I can't hear anything.
Really?
That's not good. That's not good.
That's music. It's in your ears. It's not even playing.
Yeah, I know. That's wild.
Dude, you better hop out and hop back in. We need the on-off switch.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, on-off switch. And of course, you guys gave him recommendations on what he was talking about. Your bald head, your AV team.
Remember the name.
Nice internet, Scott.
Oh man, show is rough. Show is rough today. All right, let's get Dan back in here. All right, there he is. Come on back on screen.
I don't know.
There we go.
I don't know what.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this on tariffs from a different perspective. I spent a ton of time in Canada the last month or so. I was in Montreal, I was in Toronto for some things for a couple weeks.
What's Montreal like? Very nice up there.
Still cold. It was actually snowing when I was up there, but it was cool. It's a cool time. Cool time. But at the end of cool city, I should probably say it's a city. But at the end of the day, it's interesting to see the Canadians' perspective of this. They're just saying, "Hey, this has united them into more of a Canadian pride. Let's reunite as Canadians. Let's buy Canadian products. Let's support this." And so that's kind of sparked an interesting deal. We make some pretty good booze. They sell a lot of it. You know, there's a lot of products that they depend on, rely on us on. We like some of their fuel and gasoline and some of the other things that they provide too. But I'm really interested to see how damaged this Canadian-U.S. relationship is, right? I mean, Mexico's a completely separate topic, but man, we've been allies for a really, really long time. And the overnight switch, not even like turning it down, the overnight switch of almost enemy is really interesting to see from that perspective.
Yeah, that is an interesting perspective. All right, so let me ask this. Oh, Dan, you back? You remember what you're talking about?
I do, yeah. Where did I drop off at? What was the last thing I heard? You guys heard me say?
Before you cut out, I know it's hard.
This underscores the value of having relationships because
yes,
spot rates declined like 28% overnight a few weeks ago, and they've been bumping along the bottom like ever since. If you don't have a quality network of people who want you to be successful just as much as they want to be successful themselves, then you are going to be behind the curve. We've had a lot of hard times in freight the last few years. It sounds like we're going to continue to have a little bit more pain in the near term, and your network outside of your revenue stream is your most valuable asset as a business. So you need to invest in relationships. That's one of the reasons why the BCS has gotten the traction that it's got, is because we are all about relationships. We're all about intentional, authentic conversations and partnerships being formed. So if you don't have that network in place, you need to find a way to get that going real quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Well, that's why we're using the theme of team this year, and that is, brokers and carriers, and even the technology providers and service providers that service them. We're really on the same team. Like, we need each other, and it's the time to come together to get through whatever time is about to happen. We don't know what's going to happen coming up soon, but we'll see what happens to that. Yeah. Somebody eating something? I feel like I heard a wrapper open up.
No, it's me. It's lunchtime right now.
That's Dan. He's opening it up. All right, so let me ask this question. If we could divorce the politics from this a little bit, do we feel like the strategy of trying to reset the global economy and trade system is a good one or a bad one?
First of all, 2 Christmases.
It's a bold
so that's
one.
awesome.
Say it again, Kyle. Go ahead, Kyle.
First of all, 2 Christmases, so that's awesome for like everyone, right? We get double the amount of presents we were getting before because we're divorcing politics here. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Damn it, Kyle.
All right. So how about the other question?
I'm confused. Look at Juan's background. His girlfriend, his wife, just continues to disappear behind.
This is my favorite. It's my favorite screen. It's my favorite screen. I've talked about this 1,000 times.
I'm looking for the porn in the back.
We know, Jeff. Calm down.
Damn.
Oh, goodness.
You guys,
we all are. Hey, Jeff, we all are, buddy. We all are.
You guys picked the best time to start doing shrooms.
Juan, you're muted, buddy, but you look good. Again, we're not even looking at you. We're just looking
they
for.
Keep disappearing. Where are they coming
there we
from?
Go. There we go.
Watch, someone's gonna appear.
Playtime, all right? It's playtime.
Can we get some music? Can we get some music on it?
Juan's about to go to a virtual background very quickly. he's looking for him right now.
Hey, listen, I got to tell you something that's bothering me, man. And that is like my guy, Scott, his Friday vibes has put me like new blood in my energy. And right now, this Scott is like a puppy that got in trouble and he's got to go to his cage, man. He's got to go to his cage and he can't speak and he's got to go to his crate and we got to leave because we got to go out to dinner and he's got to go in his crate. Yeah. I don't like this Scott, man.
Yeah. We need the real time Scott back. That's what we need. We need the real time sales floor Scott back. That's what we need.
So I have an idea. On this. Sometimes when your favorite TV show when you were growing up, right? They didn't always have new episodes, but like sometimes they would put like the best of all the episodes in one. Sometimes you kind of felt like you get ripped off because you've seen them all before. And like we could just have that on standby every time we get Scott in his
just
crate. Just the best of Scott,
feed.
man.
That's
just
right,
like a real
Scott feed.
Yeah. That would be good.
My favorite thing is that he's hearing all this, but he can't get in because he's too late. He's too far behind. He can't get into any of it. He just has to take it to listen to it.
Dan Lane still has his walkout song on from 33 minutes ago. I love it.
Playing in my head. He can't hear anything anyway. He's still just trying to figure out. We're all still saying hi in his feed.
Let me get back to my question. That is, what do we think about this strategy, though? What do we think about this? I mean, we've had basically 40 years of shifting demographics from a manufacturing standpoint, from an economic standpoint, trade standpoint, and now it's like we're trying to change it in a very short period of time. I mean, what do we think about the strategy itself? Do we need to do this even if it's going to be
a different world today? It's a different world today.
I'm literally probably the last person that should have an opinion on this, but what I can appreciate from a leadership standpoint, I don't care whether you think it's a good strategy or not. At least it's a strategy from a leadership perspective. And I think that if you're a CEO of a company, you have to have a similar stance. You pick a direction, you make a decision, and you run with it, right? Like people are going to disagree with it. Some people are going to like it. Some people aren't. if it's a strategy, sometimes things aren't going to work out how you expected, but it's better, in my opinion, than just sitting on our thumbs, hoping things are going to get better. Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Whatever. The decision is, at least you're going.
Yeah. It's better to act. It's better to act than not. And 100%. It's not like there's only one strategy to reset the global economy. I mean, there are multiple ways you could do it. I don't think his way was probably the optimal way to do it. But then again, I'm just a guy. I'm like Coleman. I'm in freight.
Yeah.
I don't know all the things that are going on in the back rooms, and all the parameters that they're talking about. So I think we run into a lot of Monday morning quarterback as people like, it's easy to criticize the leaders.
For sure.
It's harder to actually be the leader and make the call, especially when everybody else thinks you're crazy.
Yeah, I mean, perfect sports
like someone speaking a week before a conference, getting ready to kind of do all this, and a lot of questions are coming at
you. We can all relate to this. This was 100% the wrong call. Give the ball to Marshawn on the fucking 1 yard line when the game is on the line. Like, do that.
We can all agree with that.
Yes. Right? Like, you, as a leader, right? You make the decision that you think is the best at the time, and you go with it, right? Yeah. But hindsight's always 20/20. So. Do I personally like the guy? We're not best friends. I don't think the highest of him, but at least it's something which I can get behind.
Did you send him a sweatshirt? You can change that.
He can't afford them. He can't afford.
Did you send it?
Orange gets on the white too much. It looks horrible.
Oh no, we got an orange one especially for him. Don't worry.
Yeah. Hey, I have a question. Do you guys what impact from tariffs have you had out of your own wallet? Like, what have you seen to say, oh man, I'm feeling this. This is actually happening.
I've had nothing.
Dude, not yet. I'm with Trey. Yeah.
What?
I'm probably like the 4 to 6 months down the road feeling it where I sit, because I'm not moving freight every day. I'm not in those making those decisions.
Well, Trey, are you buying steel coils or no?
Steel coils?
You're not importing steel, right? I just double checking. I just want to make sure. All right.
Not lately. Not lately. That's right. Yeah, not late. We didn't add those to the set this year at the Broker Care Summit, so we do not have any steel coils yet. No. Yeah, no. I feel like I'm somewhat sheltered right now. Maybe not down the road, but right now, because I'm not having to think about importing freight and the costs and calculating all that and some of the stuff that people. I'm not in those rooms. So
the statistic
I haven't felt it yet. We'll see.
The statistic I saw was that the Amazon sellers on the most popular items have raised the price an average of 29% as a result of tariffs.
Wow.
So if your item's a penny, if your item's $300, right? I guess they're saying an average in the entire Amazon, and they're just calculating their most popular items. They've seen an increase of 29% in the last month.
Yeah. Well, now here lies a good question. Who looks at the prices on Amazon and evaluates if they're good or not? I mean, usually when you use Amazon, it's because you need something right away, and if it's reasonable, you just buy it, right? I mean, I don't know that that's probably true. I probably have bought some things recently that did have that. Maybe I didn't know it just because. I mean, when you're buying something on Amazon,
you worn for
we did buy some dope jerseys. We did. That's right. That's right. Listen, it's going to get washed on Saturday, and I've been wearing different shirts underneath every day. So listen,
I know whatever excuse you come up and why you're not stinky, but it's cool.
I can think it's reeking. I can smell it over the ear.
But you can smell it through the microphone.
Yeah.
Mitch, it's a good point though, Mitch. We probably are feeling it in some ways we don't even know about in those cases. But it doesn't. But I'm not perceiving it, I guess is the right way to say it. Like I'm not.
Hey, Trey, you got to fill up your car. What are you going to do? You're not going to run biofuel or grease. You got to.
Right.
eat.
Well, fuel's down here in St. Louis. So I mean, it's actually.
What?
Yeah. It's way
Mitch, we could just have you fart in the car, man.
That's right. That's right.
Self-propelled.
I will say this. I did yesterday, Coleman. You'll be happy to hear this. Yesterday, I realized that I had not ordered bags for the Post and Pray Classic. You know, the little gift bags. Because, that's something that it's a last minute detail, right? But I caught it before the tournament. And I even called Elise and I said, did we order bags? And she says, oh, no, I didn't order those. She goes, but here's the link.
Me out. You stress me out.
I ordered the bags. They got here today. They're here today. I ordered them yesterday. They're here today. But I spent $60 total on 200 bags. I don't know. What did you spend last? I don't know if that's good or not. But I just ordered them.
It's definitely more for sure.
Yeah. I don't know what we spent. By the way, the bag that we bought last time is no longer on Amazon, so I had to go with a slightly different one. Elise helped me out with that. So I don't know, quality. I have no idea. But I didn't really even look, Mitch. It's like I needed the bags, and they were, $30 for 100. It's like, well, that's reasonable. I need that, so I just bought them.
I thought Kyle had a bad guy. Didn't you use Kyle's bad guy?
I got a bad guy. Juan, he's coming.
He's a bad mother trucker.
Oh man. Okay. Well, we'll see. But so Mitch, I want to come back to you on this, Mitch.
I'll take some.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Mitch, I want to come back to you on this though. Is that I want to get your take on the strategy. Like we think about what's happened over the last 40 years. We do live in a different world today than we did back then. Is it worth trying to reset, or is this fool's gold? Like how do you take it? Trying to take the politics out of it, just from is this going to be better for us in the long run, or is this not?
So it's really hard to have that answer without being political, right? Because there's so much emotion and passion into what's happening right now. It doesn't matter.
Great, be political. Let's go.
No, I'm not saying to be political. I'm saying it doesn't matter. Everybody here is on one side or the other, and it doesn't matter. And so with that, I like data and I like facts, right? So the data and the facts tell me that there's 60% less sailings and bookings out of China right now headed to the United States. That's a significant deal. Those are like COVID numbers, man, when they couldn't make bicycles and all these other things and just nothing shipped, right? Just the repercussion and the tidal wave that happened from that, we are all still feeling today, everybody on this call. So with that said, like, is this a world reset? There's just so many things that happen in this deal. As much as you like it or hate it, to Coleman's point, our global trade was getting ridiculous, right? We were sending money to maybe sources that we shouldn't, or maybe made sense 10 years ago that don't make sense today. So is this an ultimate reset of who's our true ally, who's helping us and who's not? I don't know. I'm old school. I grew up here saying, like, you help the people that need help if you have more power and you do some of those things. But obviously we've crossed lines and done some of those other things and maybe gotten a little bit out of control. I do know that, man, everybody here from an American perspective, who cares who's in office, is tired. They're exhausted. They're feeling like they're getting robbed in everything they do. We all work our asses off. We all work really, really hard, and we want to relax a little bit, right? And look forward to it. I got 3 daughters. How am I going to figure out college? How am I going to figure out these things with just the world and this craziness now, right? But I think, does it make sense to do? I guess, right? I guess. But I do know this. Do we have consequences if we do it wrong? Significantly, right? The facts are the facts. We have a lot of power. So do other countries. So does China. They have a lot of power too, but we both kind of need each other, right? We know that at the end of the day. So China's only as good as us, and we're only as good as China in a lot of factors there. I saw a TikTok or something the other day, and it was a guy in China, and he said, this is the most simple video I've ever seen. It was only 8 seconds long. And he said, I'm going to name you all the American products I have in my apartment. And then he just was silent. And he said, now you name all the Chinese products you have in your home. And and so it's like, oh, that does rattle up a little bit, right? You know what I mean? It's like, at the end of the day, Is it worth the reset?
Search history.
Yeah, exactly.
Export culture.
Right,
I'm sure if you look, X videos is showing up on that guy's search and boom, America.
America.
We are evolving from a military perspective. We are evolving from a weapons for all of these things. 10 years over 10 years over 10 years, we are just growing at other things. So is it only about our wallet? Is it only about the dollar? Is it about other messages and other things? I'm not that smart, but I do feel like everything I read ties into, this is a dominance play on everything outside of just our economy. And so I don't know. I'm not that smart, but I know that it's affecting a lot of people. It is, we need Canada, we need Mexico, and those are the facts. And they need us, by the way, right? We all need each other to survive just from this standpoint here. Central America needs this to survive from this standpoint here and have an incubator of opportunity and products. So the long story winded answer of you, Trey, you can edit this and post edit, and then to get it down to 4 seconds. Yes. And then that'll just be the answer and post edit. But I think it's necessary for a lot of things. But I think this is US versus China. Everything else is just noise. What do you guys? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'll respond real quickly, and then I'll open the floor up. As I hear some of these reports about how dependent we are on China for things like weapons, for things like pharmaceuticals. like critical things that if things ever did go south and we got into a war, we'd probably be in a really bad
The thing
spot.
about China, though, is
true
this.
that is. I don't
No,
know,
because the thing about China is this. Yes, we can find weapons and we can find pharmaceuticals from other sources. China will always figure it out and then get them cheaper. Like China's really good at figuring out whatever the market source is and then diluting the value of that where we're forced to take that price point, right? So
but 30 years ago that wasn't the case because they weren't in the World Trade Organization. They weren't on the table. Right. So they came into the World Trade Organization. They're not playing by the rules. Who's going to enforce the rules? I think that's the real question is how do we get them to play on the same playing field with us? It's like me playing golf, but instead Coleman is starting on the green and I'm on the tee and I've got to try to beat him. And I might
probably would. Let's be honest.
But he's playing a different game than I am, even though we're both keeping score on the same scorecard. And so I look at that and I wonder how much of that is happening. I think about cars in Europe. Like you don't see Fords in Germany. Or in Japan or Korea, you don't see any of our cars there. We see all their cars here. Like, why is that? There's got to be a reason why it's been set up that way. Does it need to change? Does it not? Will it change? I don't know. But you see these things where it's like, yeah, we take their stuff, but they don't take any of our stuff. Does that matter?
On the right side.
They're starting to see our cars now because, they needed cars this big based on the infrastructure that they had, right? And we like to make Ford F950s or whatever the hell we make it these days. Turns out, you can't go down cobblestone roads with just, one way in, right?
Can't comprehend.
Yeah, you put a Ford F950 up against the freaking
the get her done flaps on the back. Oh, here he is.
Life.
He's back.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah,
he's still in the corner, Mitch. There's the corner.
The puppy's in his crate. That dog peed on the carpet.
I like the fact that he's still here. He's still fighting through this, trying to make it happen.
That's loyalty.
Like that,
He's a good dog. He's a good dog. That's right. That's right.
Oh man, it's good. I think of it like this too, and I'm curious your thoughts about this too. I think about it like a home. Like if you had a house, a family where you were way in debt and where you had these situations where you feel like you were getting taken advantage of, you'd probably want to change course. But when you do, that's probably going to hurt. Like if I went to my daughters and said, hey, we're not eating out for the whole month. We're not going to eat out once. Like that's going to hurt. That's going to be weird, but is it going to be better in the long run? And I think that's the question people have right now is, okay, yeah, this is going to hurt. Like we're seeing this coming down the pipeline. This is going to hurt. Is the juice worth the squeeze? And I don't know.
Well, something else too. I can't say this enough. We are so short-sighted. This tariff conversation is we're in like week 6.
And it'll be done in 4.
It's been 6. Well,
it'll be done in 4.
It's been 6 weeks of a conversation. Nothing is on fire. Things are changing. Things are starting to
the waters are getting rough.
The waters are getting rough, but you know what? People were freaking out 5 weeks ago on this.
People hate change. That's what it is.
That's the thing. And people are not willing in general to tolerate a small amount of change, even though the result might be better.
Yeah.
It's easier to freak out when the change happens, no matter what the result might be. So
we like the devil that we know.
Like, honestly, there's also like a lot of short-sightedness with what's going on. There's so much opportunity right now at the international level that, like, maybe because everybody's focused on their own little lane, they don't notice. But there's businesses that right now are capitalizing this opportunity. Their competing countries and providers are getting tariffed up the nose, and they have lower tariffs, so they have a market share to acquire and to conquer. And if anything, instead of panicking, like, where are those opportunities on the Western Hemisphere? If we're not looking at the East anymore in the same way, where are those opportunities? Mexico is not the only country because it's a neighbor, and Canada is not the only country because it's a neighbor.
Canada only trades with Europe, it is not going to go good for them, right? If this is like retaliation and they say, we'll use Europe, it will not go good for them.
It will not. I mean, they don't. Yeah. Europe doesn't have the demand that the U.S. has. Like Canada combined, like the entire world, whatever buys from them, the U.S. buys 80% of it. They're like the scale is completely upside down. But there's plenty of opportunity on those situations. On the Mexico border, there's Central America, there's South America. Why are not companies like looking at the rest of the world in a different way? Why, if you ask your question, hey, why is Vietnam getting hit so hard out of random nowhere on the tariff side? They got a 75% tariff compared to China. Well, because China outsources to Vietnam because Vietnam is cheaper than China nowadays. Those are things that have been happening in the last 5 years. And okay, there's certain products that are tariffed. They get triangulated through Vietnam, through Philippines, and so on, and they end up in the U.S. repackaged as if they were
spot on. If you look at all the neighboring Chinese countries, right?
Yeah.
If you look at every neighboring Chinese country, they are all Chinese-run companies manufacturing on behalf just to skirt some of those laws, right? So there's always, there's a will, there's a way, right? Dan Lindsay had a really good point, I think, and said, like, we're just so impulsive. We just don't like change. I think explore that more. I agree with that 100%. As soon as Chili took off that bacon, the bacon mushroom burger, I haven't been back since. I agree with you on that statement. I put my own tariff on Chili's, right? The tariff is my time, my life, never coming back. But I don't like change. That was my favorite thing there, man.
Yeah.
Stay involved. You're missing the triple dipper deal, my friend. You are missing an entree, a drink, and a dessert for nothing.
Mitch, I can appreciate that because I used to love Chilitos at Taco Bell, and then they became chili cheese burritos, and I love those, and they took those away. And then I like the Chipotle chicken griller. They took that away. I don't go to Taco Bell anymore. They just anytime I order something, I think they make a note and say we got to get rid of this. This has to get off the menu because Trey bought it.
That makes the most sense.
And
that's probably what
I don't go back. That's exactly.
Do you think that part of this, and I wish Bane was here for this part of, is do you think that a huge part of this is that it's just all front of mind? Obviously, tariffs have a ripple effect, especially in supply chain. But if nobody in the media was talking about tariffs, Trey, you said it really hasn't affected you, or it really the end consumer to a certain extent. Would it just be something that's like water under the bridge? It's change that's happening, but we're not really that aware of it. Is this all coming back?
There'd definitely be a part of that. For those of us who are not in this supply chain, there would definitely be a part of
actively.
Yeah.
Well,
that's kind of really good.
Specialized products should be hit for sure. Like we'll start seeing that soon if you guys haven't seen it yet. But for example, the U.S. can feed the world with the Midwest production, both on beef and everything else, grains and so on. So we shouldn't see something exaggerated happening on the grocery, like on the grocery stands, especially if it's national product. Now, one thing, for example, that India did back in the day when they started industrializing is that they closed borders and they didn't export nothing. They imported a lot of things that they need specialized, but they dedicated themselves to building an industrial complex to feed almost 4 billion humans that live in that little corner of the world. They're there. They haven't died. So it's like there's going to be some effects, but I don't think what the news are making it sound like everything is just going to be more expensive. Your iPhone is going to be more expensive. Well, then just don't change it this year.
Wait. Let's talk about the iPhone. Let's talk about the iPhone. Hold on. I'm so tired of hearing the newspaper headline that says your iPhone's going to be more expensive. That's the biggest buzz that relates to the average American.
They're better.
Nobody cares.
No. Let me tell you something. Yes. Do you know what percentage of Americans own their iPhone? This says, this is costing me more money. You get it for free. You change providers. They bake it in. Or you finance the damn thing, like which the majority of the Americans do these days, because not a lot of people are investing in that deal. No one owns the iPhone. The banks own the iPhone. You guys don't own a damn iPhone, right?
Well, I think this speaks to a larger.
No one owns the iPhone.
A larger problem
Who
too.
owns my news?
And we'll talk about this a little bit next week. When it comes to building a network, one of the most important skill sets that you need to develop, not only as a business person, but as an individual, period, is you need to learn to filter your information sources. There's information out there all over the place, and if all you do is react to the hot takes and the news stories and the headlines that you read and hear, you are going to be a ship in rough seas, no matter how calm the waters actually are around you. Just because somebody has a microphone and a podcast, you're going to be roughing it with Coleman. Just because somebody has a microphone or a news channel does not mean that they warrant your attention, does not mean that they warrant your reaction. It doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. So we got to pause for a moment because Meshach joined the fray. Love it, Meshach. Good to see you. Where's the hats? Where are the hats? We're always looking for the hat. The nice hat on the dome. All right. Yeah. Go grab one. While you're doing that, listen up. We want to get your take on this because we were asking the question. We're talking about tariffs, how it's impacting people, and the one question we asked around the room is, regardless of what we maybe think about the politics of it, do we think the strategy of resetting the global economy through this is going to be good in the long run? Even though it's going to hurt in the short term, is it worth the squeeze, or is this fool's gold trying to do this because we live in a different world now? What's your take on it?
Well, the setup, resetting the economy, I'm not sure what that quite means.
Well, resetting like the tariff structure, like and how the trade works, and like where things come from, trying to make things a little bit more, I guess we'll call it equitable across the board, as opposed to all the tariffs that are imposed on USA and we have limited ones on other countries.
Yeah, I mean, the long and the short of it for me is that the economy, minimum, we've got months to kind of dig ourselves out of this. 20% off the top of the value of the U.S. dollar. It's a lot of money that's lost out. That's just not going to pop back immediately. But I tend to think that we should always shake things up every now and then a little bit. Push people, like push a little harder. But I think if you come off thinking that like everybody that's been trying to negotiate foreign trade in the U.S. over the last decades is morons, I think it's a mistake. I think that it's better to just go, things can get a little ossified and a little rusty, and that we can shake things up. So I don't know how much we're actually going to change anything really right now. I think what we are changing is that we might be getting into a deep stagflation period here. And that may be effectively reducing the debt because inflation reduces the impact of the debt. Basically, we're paying the dollar is worth less. We owe money on the U.S. dollar. That then becomes less, right? But if we put ourselves into a serious, deflationary situation, stagflation, and recession, a lot of people are arguing that it's actually not going to look good in the long run. But I can't quite tell exactly what we're resetting at this point. There's not enough detail. There's not enough kind of explaining what the plan is for me to be able to judge that. I just look at things from a macroeconomic perspective where, there are real consequences for the shakeup, and the reward better be really good. And I don't see anything spelled out yet.
I can help with the reset. We've been trying to reset Scott's Wi-Fi this entire show, and I think we finally got
it. He reacted pretty quickly. Are you in real time, Scott? Are you real time?
Yeah, I might be in real time. Am I in real time?
Yeah.
That's because I'm using my Samsung phone instead of my iMac.
Nice. Now, Mishek, you might. No, well, it's good to hear your perspective because we're just trying to get everybody's perspective. Mitch had a great perspective on it.
Good stuff.
Coleman had a great perspective. Kyle's was, so. We're just trying to get perspectives here. But the one thing you might be shocked to know is that Juan has already decided that this is going to be over. This tariff war in 4 weeks. 4 weeks, it's going to be over. No questions asked.
It kind of has to be, and we've already seen kind
That's
of
what he said.
We're already seeing a softening from Trump on kind of what's going on with China. He wants to get a win. Of course, he wants to get a win. Hopefully, China can help him do that, even if it's not much changed. Perception is powerful, and shaking things up and getting people to kind of think, hey, I mean, one of the advantages is like if you're willing to kind of go to the mats. And then like later on, you're like, hey, I need you to do this thing. And somebody goes, oh, crap, this person is willing to go to the mat. Even if that was a meth, maybe there's some benefit there,
I think also, too, Elon Musk said something in one of his interviews. It was like a number of years ago. He said, one of the biggest mistakes engineers make is trying to optimize something that should not exist. And I think a lot of things.
I do like that quote.
It was a great quote. And one of the things that I think we've seen in the global trade markets in the last 30, 40 years, a lot of things are around that were important, that were needed and necessary 30, 40, 20 years ago that are no longer necessary. And so I think one of the benefits that we will see from this shakeup is that a lot of things that don't need to be like processes or systems or whatever it might be in the global economic landscape will go away just because they're not able to stand in the new environment. So,
Dan, one of those things better not be Christmas onesies. Santa onesies better stick around. Those better not go away.
As long as Kyle's around, I don't think Christmas onesies are going anywhere.
One of the people I trust most,
you gotta rock a onesie.
One of the people, as I said before, I trust the most is Dean Phillips. One very successful business person, a really smart guy. very just people love him from both sides of the aisle. And and he's always said that the things need to be kind of redone, rebuilt. We need to rebuild Washington so people actually work together. He's like, the structure of the actual physical structure of Washington is designed to separate us right away. And we need to kind of do what's some people call design thinking, where you design something to kind of create the outcome you want, and also that there is some dust that needs to be shaken off. It's just a matter of, I think that if you make the mistake, I think it's a mistake to think that 30% of any civilization is morons. So if anybody's just like, oh, everybody on this side of the aisle is an idiot, I'm like, okay, you're immediately starting off the wrong foot, because there are smart people on both sides. There are smart people that have been in government the whole time. If we need to shake things up, it's probably more nuance, and then a lot of people have patience
going on
these days. But
but Meshach, there might be a little dust on the bottle. But
I mean, every once in a while, the lion needs to make
find out
himself
what's
heard.
inside.
Don't you think?
Just saying.
What's that one?
Wouldn't you guys say that every once in a while the lion needs to make himself felt? Also, like shake it off.
Well,
and just
what does that mean? Like, I think that you need to
Taylor
like push, and you need to kind of sometimes make uncomfortable decisions. But we cannot forget the soft power. We cannot forget that there are a lot of smart people that probably have a lot of really good ideas already. And if you just come top down and go, oh, okay, I'm just gonna fix things in a way that makes sense, in a very binary, very simple way that aligns with cognitive bias, you're probably making a mistake.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about this more next week. We've got a lot to talk about. It's going to continue, I'm sure. I want to talk about the cabinet, because there's some people in the cabinet like Scott Best, and I'd love to hear your take on what do you think his thoughts are. We'll get to that later on. Today, though, we got to finish the show with, of course, This Week in Pictures. We got a Microsoft PowerPoint version this time, because I hear Kyle has some video maybe. So we'll see if this actually was out.
Skip this. Oh yeah. I'm just putting that out there. This is backstage at Broker Carrier. If I see him, he's getting a ring, he's getting a wedgie and a noogie. Not welcome.
It's so sad that he had to leave early for this. Oh, that would have been so great to have to see that there. All right, and then is there a video in here? Here we go. Check this out. Watch this. Here we go.
Little T-ball. She's trying. I don't know why they pitched to her in T-ball.
Dude, that's not T-ball. That's pitch.
Bengals.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was very confused about that. She didn't make contact. I think she's surprised as much as we are that she made contact with that. And the other one was doing a little Easter basket. She was flabbergasted that the Easter Bunny came midday. Couldn't believe that was happening. So.
Does she jack one here? What are we waiting for? Does she just jack one?
She hit the one we saw. I forgot to trim it what I uploaded.
You got it all, gents.
That's right. We got it. All right. See you, Scott. And then I'll go last. I got to go to Branson this last week. Got to see my old youth pastor from 30 years ago, Jeff Wilcox, who's the one guy who along with Bain, makes me look tall. So I love getting to take a picture with him. Got to go to the bulk freight conference down at Branson. That was fun to see some great people. We got Iron Minds workouts happening at BCS coming up soon. My daughter and I, as we walked through the Missouri State campus on one of our campus visits, so that was fun to do that. And then this is what Twitter, what Grok thinks that I look like because of my performance in the Princess Bride.
Any good to your pretty good on that one. I mean, you're skinnier than that, Trey.
I know. I'm like, what happened here? I gained 30 pounds just in this picture, but maybe I need to lose a little more weight. Maybe Grok's right. I need to get back on it. So that being said, good to see you guys. Meshach, thanks for joining late. Always good to hear your perspective. We'll see you guys next week on a BCS review edition. We'll see you guys. Peace out.
Hey!